Filling in the gap between episodes 3, Revenge of the Sith, and 4, A New Hope, we are here discussing the Rebels magazine comic strip Return of the Slavers. Return of the Slavers by Martin Fisher and Ingo Romling is featured in the March 2015 issue of the US publication of the Rebels magazine. This story takes place at some point during the first season of Star Wars Rebels, likely before Episode 6, Breaking Ranks. On the planet On, a Zygerian slaver is in the process of building her own slave empire. Her latest batch of slaves has arrived, which included one member of the Ghost's crew, Sabine. Madal, the slaver in charge of the operation, was alerted to her level of spirit and decided to make Sabine her personal slave. Meanwhile, On Lothal, the remaining crew of the Ghost have been unable to locate Sabine. Ezra manages to find Sabine's airbrush and a piece of Sabine's handiwork, which looks to be a planet, a clue to her destination. Back on, Sabine is putting up quite a fight against Madal. She continues to show defiance despite the pain felt when her shock collar is activated. She compares Madal's operation on the same level of evil as the Empire, though Madal herself does not see it that way. When her master goes to sleep, Sabine takes the moment to sneak out of the palace and take stock of the remainder of the slaves, a sight that was worse than she expected. While she is surveying the situation, she manages to get caught. While it seems that her plans have been foiled, her determined resistance was witnessed by the other slaves, and some have certainly taken notice. The next morning, Sabine seems to have put on a different face for Madal, but she quickly learns that this is all a ruse, as the rest of the slaves have stood up against their captors, disabling their shock collars, and made a move on the slaver leader. Madal, not going down without a fight, challenges Sabine to one-on-one close combat in order to earn back her freedom. It is no surprise that, after the struggle, Sabine comes out on top. The crew of the Ghost finally catches up with Sabine, where we find that it was Sabine's plan all along to get captured, and she didn't want to risk the rest of the crew by telling them what was going on. She mentions not wanting to repeat the events of Kessel, referencing the first story of Star Wars Rebels. Kanan tells Madal that she and her men are free to go, not wanting to bring themselves down to the level of the Empire. This comic strip is a great look at Sabine's determination to get the job done, and her ability to infect others with the spirit of resisting subjugation. We also saw early on in the comic that the mission the crew was on before this situation was to secure a list of Academy recruits, seemingly pointing toward what was to happen in Breaking Ranks, continuing to fill in this time gap that we saw in the first season of the show. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the insight and analysis found here at Star Wars: The Canon Explained. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Leave your comments and questions about this story or any element of the Star Wars canon below. Till next time, may the Force be with you.